Welcome back to the AutoHound. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are, of course, reviewing my 2015 Porsche Boxster S. And as you see by the title, it is the world's most perfect sports car. It's roomy, it's fast, it can go anywhere. You don't have to worry about ripping up the front of your bumper. You don't have to worry about anything scraping on the bottom. This is the 20-inch wheel version with the P-Zeros, which I'm getting rid of next year because I hate them. So now 3 years into it, it's a great car. So let's really kind of dive into what I like and what I don't like after 3 years of driving this thing. Number one, what I like is the styling. No matter where you go, you're going to find a car that just looks good. I always turn around in the parking lot and I check this thing out. Yes, there are other more exotic looking cars out there. However, this one, it just screams style. I love the color, which is carbonized gray metallic. Absolutely amazing. The other one that I like about this is the roominess. The inside, of course, is standard Porsche fare. You get everything kind of nicely situated, not a big deal. But what I really love is when you pop the frunk, which is what they call it on these, look at the room that you get. I've gone 3,000 miles in this car on one trip going down to North Carolina, all the way up the tail of the Dragon. And truly and honestly, it is just huge. I was able to fit both of my carry-ons. I was also be able to fit my pillow, my CPAP machine, and then in the back here, another large space where I was able to fit more stuff, and plus I had stuff to be able to bring home. Because when you go to North Carolina, why not bring some stuff home? So, kind of nice. I like that. Another thing that I like about the car is the rear stance. The rear stance makes the car look so incredibly sexy. Love it. Absolutely love it. In the car, I've made some minor modifications. Modification 1. This really great steering wheel. I'll put it in the link below. Highly recommend. We just turned 75,000 miles on this car. So it's not, you know, it's not a car I keep in the garage all the time. I put about 5,000 to 6,000 miles a year on it. Over here, we're changing this out to actually have the Apple CarPlay very, very soon. It's actually going to be integrated into the actual unit itself, so I don't have to change the factory look of the car. The other thing that I like about this particular steering wheel, by the way, is that you have your paddle shifters up here as opposed to on the steering wheel, which is where the old one was. I wasn't a big, huge fan of that. You have all of these right here, and they work great. Over here, you can see it is the sport mode. It's a basic fare. It doesn't have Sport Plus, which I don't care. I think it's still a great car. It also has the Bose stereo, which sounds amazing. Recently, I have another sponsor, and right there, it's a 70 mi dash cam, and it is phenomenal. It's a 360 dash cam, so that you get a forward view, and you also have a rear view, which is kind of nice. And also, it has a few carbon fiber accents in these absolutely horrific Porsche cup holders, which I've never been a fan of. Closing the car up, it sounds solid, it feels solid. People ask about the Porsche tax. Is it real? And yes, it is. However, it's not terrifically expensive to maintain. Forgive the clicking, that was just my glasses. So coming into this car, it handles sublimely, absolutely sublime. I cannot say enough good things about how well this car handles compared to many other cars. It's comfortable again, and you're not getting a really brutal ride quality on the car, which is something you gotta like. A lot of cars of this caliber, they don't have the soft, supple ride and the sportiness at the same time. It's either you get soft and supple or you get sporty. You don't get both at the same time. I recently drove the Lotus Emira, and I absolutely love that car. However, you know, you got to switch it for different modes, for track mode and whatnot. This doesn't have all the different modes. It just has sport mode down here. And yes, if you get Sport Plus, it makes it a little bit more aggressive. people misunderstand what the modes actually mean. Sport mode doesn't mean that, oh, the car goes faster. It means that the gearing changes for the computer so that the RPMs stay up longer. In theory, you're going faster, but it really depends on the driver themselves. You know, anybody could have a Sport Plus button, Sport mode, Strata mode, all of them are basically the same thing. Now, as you get into the newer cars, like the new Corvette, the C8, which is unbelievable, Ferrari, even the newer Porsches, they actually have different modes in them that tighten everything up. So the steering wheel gets tighter, the suspension gets tighter, which is really kind of nice. Now, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, the ability for this car to do what it does on a daily basis and drive as good as it does. Now, look at how nice this corners. I'm not beating on it, and I don't want to do a million miles through here, but it just handles so well. So what makes it the greatest sports car on the planet and the best value? Well, number one, all the things I've already mentioned. It handles incredibly, it drives nicely, it has a great amount of gas mileage on this. I get about 26 to 30 miles to the gallon, depending on how hard I drive it. Now, when I go autocrossing, it's a little bit different. I maybe get about 9 or 10, but then again, you're doing whole shots all day long, and you know, yes, that takes some wear and tear on the car, but truly and honestly, it's not a bad thing. You know, this car is made to race, and it's plenty fast. You know, it's plenty fast. Now, I don't, again, let's not go crazy on the speed, but you can see how quick it just took off. What I love about this is that you have the ability to have both a race car and a practical daily driver. Now let's talk affordability. You could get one of these cars, the Porsche 981. Now the 986, you could get those for 10 to 15 grand, well sorted, all day long. Absolutely phenomenal. On the S version, it's about 15 to 17 grand. On the 987s, they're a little bit more, about 20 to 21 grand. And you know, kind of nice that it's able to stay in that really nice sweet spot like Camry money. This car is truly Camry money. This car right here, when I bought it, was in the mid 40s. It's a Boxster S. It only had 53,000 miles on it, and honestly, it still retained its value. I think we've maybe lost $2,000 on this car, and it has 75,000 miles on it now. One of the cool parts is that you could pick one of these up in a base version for about $32,000, well sorted. If you go for the S version, you're looking at about $40,000, and if you're going to do the collector kind of halo car for the Boxsters, is the GTS. Now the GTS, that's a different animal. It's lowered by 20 millimeters. It's got an extra 10 horsepower. To me, I wasn't going to go crazy and buy that. I didn't think that it was necessary, because it was, again, an extra 10 grand. Why spend the extra 10 grand to get a couple of more performance features? But again, it depends on what you want. Then we start to get into the S's, not the S's, excuse me. We start to get into the GT4 cars and the Spiders, and those are all kind of like collectible Porsches, if you will. I don't see a lot of people giving up those cars just because they're such a hoot to drive. This car is an absolute hoot to drive. It drives like you would expect a sports car to drive. The other thing that I love about it is that I don't feel that I'm going to get in trouble. You know, a lot of sports cars today, they get 500 horsepower, and you really have to kind of modulate it so that you're not putting yourself in trouble when you're driving quickly. You know, a lot of speeding tickets in this world. Let's try to avoid as many as we can. It rips nicely, it sounds nicely, and those are my reasons for loving the car. The other thing that I absolutely love about this car is it still turns heads. This car's 10 years old, and yes, it's still kind of the new body style, old body style, but it still turns head. It's a Porsche. You park in a parking lot. Of course, I park 19 miles away from everybody, so no one dings the car. But it's kind of nice. It performs well. So, you know, when I think of my next sports car, and yes, there will be a next one, it's most likely going to be a C8 Corvette, because I want to try one. I want to see what it's like for the ownership. But I'm not getting rid of this one. I'll have two, as long as my wife will allow it. But you know, having driven the 986S, which is the car, my entry-level Porsche that I had, amazing car, absolutely love it. And graduating up to this, absolutely the best decision I could have made for a car. It's phenomenal. I hope you really like this video. I hope you guys choose to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, it's about the drive.